And next we'll hear from Marilyn Horne when I get my when I stop being choked up about that. Marilyn.
She's in a folder.
When Lisa asked me if I would say a few words about our dear friend John, I gave her one of those looks like, and she followed by saying, because you know John in a different way than the rest of us. Well, Lisa didn't know that I didn't know, that John didn't know that I didn't know him in a different way. I didn't know him in that way. So I thought I should find out more about John. So I went to Barnes & Noble, and I picked up the book, John Scully, His Life, Man, the Legend. It's written by his BFF, Bruce. That's his best friend forever. I must admit I didn't read it though, John. I just copied the recipes out and decided to go with this one on my own. I've worked with you 25 years at least. And John is a systems crony who makes great granola. But as my father used to say, a man is only as important as his work. Sorry. So for the last 3 months, I've watched you go by my desk in a rush 5 times a day. And you always look over at me and give me a grin. You know, one of those, like you do.
Like he does.
And you always look at me and I think that you're saying, you never say it out loud, but I know you're thinking, you want to have lunch. But I don't know John that way. Then I realized how important John is because apparently he's being summoned by Rolando Cote. Rolando Cote is our registrar, and he's our boss. He's the big guy. John's going up there to consult with Rolando Cote. Apparently, unknown to me, John is known as Jonathano Scaliano. That explains why John wears exactly the same shoes every day. He's secretly Italian. I had another month to prepare for the party. And all of a sudden I was thinking about John, and all that time I didn't know him in that way. It just kept coming up. I didn't know him in that way. When I drove home, I thought about John. I was concerned because when I took a shower, I thought about John. When I went to bed, I thought about John. I didn't know him in that way. Then it happened one morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Alan looked over at me. He so sweetly said, "What are you thinking about?" I'm thinking about John. Alan understood because he was thinking about John too. I had almost turned into one of those people that think about John that way. I found myself writing notes at work about John. I find myself with an uncontrollable urge to over-recycle. One time I found myself in line to talk to John. You know what I mean, the line. Not only does he advise Rolando Cote, he has a first come, first served counseling at his desk. I grabbed a slip from the ticket machine beside the desk. I was number 132. I didn't know him in that way. So I turned around and gave it to Rolando Cote and went back to my desk. Thanksgiving Day finally came, and I was so thankful that I only had 2 days before John's wonderful birthday celebration. We've all kept quiet for fear that Lisa's hitmen are going to come after us. And one person came to my desk and said something, and that was Grant. He goes, you know the day. Okay, were so afraid the gang, the Hitman gang, was going to be there. And you know the name of them, don't you? Nick's gang. Seriously. I haven't told you yet. Seriously though, I'm very touched to be able to be up here, and I could say a lot more things, couldn't I? Anyway, did you know everything's true? Yes. But it's nice to be able to honor you today. 3 more years and I'll be where you're at, as a lot of other people in our office. I understand your pain. You've been a kind, gentle man and a soulmate to Lisa with so much happiness. And you 3 make such a wonderful family. I see it every day. You've always been there for me during hard times. And you haven't been the one that's overwhelming and sit me down at my desk and give me a talking to. All you've had to do is put your hand on my shoulder, and I know that you care. One thing I need to tell you though, one simple little thing, and I've kept it all this time, is that I got my number back.